Welcome all in, everyone. Happy Monday. Monday is done. For those of you that are like Garfield and hate Mondays, it is almost finished. Welcome all in. Laptop Pound here, out of the park developments and Dr. Dynastic. Huge round of applause for bringing over the crew. Hope you had a wonderful stream. I just watched a little bit of the end of it, and I think it sounded like you were having a little bit of tech difficulties. If I'm understanding correctly, a little bit of tech difficulties. There you go. Thanks, everyone. Frustrating to say the least. Oh, yeah, been there many times, especially in rural Alberta. You know, we recently got access to high speed, maybe 2-3 years ago. That is, fairly good. Before that, there's no way I could be streaming because the internet was just horrible. Better than dial-up, but nowhere near that you could carry a stream. So it happens. We have those times when the internet is kind of crapping out on us. But welcome in, guys. Hope you are having a wonderful Monday. The hockey podcast will be starting at the bottom of the hour once the panel gets here. But for now, going to go through a little bit of OOTP. And we will be giving away a copy of Franchise Hockey Manager 10 a little bit later in the show. Boiled Egg has won a copy. Down by the River, Rick has won a copy. And just recently, GVC 3, I think, was the winner of the most recent copy. So it will be a copy for Steam. So if you're a Steam user, hang around and get your chance at winning Franchise Hockey Manager 10. Jeff Steele Flex in the house. Fussmucker in the house. Yeah, we will talk hockey. We'll talk predictions, goaltending, trades. But I want to start a little bit with OOTP because I am completely blown away that Out of the Park Developments and the team has named a tournament after me. Yes, Laptop Pound's Daily Lower Level Leisure Lounge. You like those L there's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 L's in that title. It's probably the longest tournament name in the daily drafts now. This is one that will qualify for the PTCS for the next cycle. And it is obviously daily. So once a day, it fires off around 11:30 Eastern, somewhere around there, 12:30 Eastern. So it fires off fairly early in the day. And I was able to get in the inaugural one this morning. And 64 people, high diamond choice pack for those of you that are able to enter this from week to week. High diamond choice pack. Not a perfect pack, but at least it's a high diamond choice pack. So I want to kind of show you guys the results from the very first one. I entered, and as you can see, I lost out fairly quickly, 4-2. So thank you, Toronto Wolverines. Thank you very much for knocking me out of this tournament. However, on stream today, many of the community members, there were still some spots open and decided to give it a shot. So let's look at the final results here. Our very own Fanatic made it to the semifinals before getting knocked out by this team, the green team. And we also had Rojo Vancouver with his Mounties making it to the quarterfinals. Very, very good. We had the Wood Ducks, Pop Stongoria. Man, Pop Stongoria, I feel for you, man, because you were up 3-0 in the third round here, and you got reverse swept by the team that won it all. That's how close this game can be. You got reverse swept by the team that won it. And not only that, the Wood Ducks in Game 7 had a 1-run lead going to the bottom of the ninth, 2 out, and they gave up the tying run and then the winning run in extra innings. Just a matter of random generation randomness. The Wood Ducks could have been the winner. So congratulations to the Green for winning the first one. Also, a few other members, the Dick Shot Dugouts by Don't Cut the D-Block Dragon. They had a really good run. But again, they only had 9 pitchers. But my team of the day for this tournament goes to Ezra Denny and his red shirts. I want to show you Ezra Denny's team for a second here for those of you that missed it. So his Starfleet red shirts didn't finish the draft in time. And when you do that, you get stuck with 7 pitchers. So he had 7 pitchers, and hitters were a little bit better. the Starfleet red shirts ended up with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hitters. So he had 18 batters on his team. And normally you would think, well, Lap, 18 batters, you're going to lose 4-0 in the first round. He lost the first 2 games, but then would come back, and in game 7, in the 10th inning of round 1, he would score 1 in the 9th to tie it, and then 1 in the 10th to win it with that team that I just showed you. So he goes on to round 2, loses the first one, wins the first 2, loses the next 2, goes to game 6. His pitchers are decimated. They're tired. He's got nothing in the tank. And he wins game 6, 2-1 over a fully drafted team. And then it goes to game 7, and he loses 2-1 in game 7. 18 players, 7 pitchers, best of 7, go 7 the distance, both rounds. And Ezra Denny, our very own Ezra Denny, almost pulls up the upset of upsets. So really fun to watch. I streamed a little bit of this during the show today. And you know what's funny is when you stream, maybe I can, I wonder if it's going to allow me to do this. I wonder if it's, because this was really funny. It was really cool. Let's see if I can go back far enough. I think it was April 16th. Let's go back to the 10th, maybe. Show the scores. Where are the red shirts? Is this the game? No, I didn't want to see that game. Let's go a little further. Might be this one here. What was the score of this one? The red shirts would lose. Oh, yeah. They would lose 21-0 in game 5. But I want to show you what OOTP does, because usually we don't watch replays when there are gym unknowns. But look at this. Ezra is starting the game with 1, 2, 3 gym unknowns in the outfield. And so when you sim a game or when you watch a game with all these players that are unknown, watch what happens here. Well, obviously the other team scores a lot of runs. There's going to be a lot of errors. See if we can get a hit to the outfield. Look at this. 1 outfielder is shown on the screen. We had a laugh about that we're playing this game with 1 outfielder. And we're missing a shortstop. So apparently, when you watch the highlights with gym unknowns, even the pitcher, look at the pitcher. Boom! The red shirts are a great name because he teleported. There is no pitcher showing in the game. Once again, do the old F10, and an invisible pitcher fires, and it goes as a home run. So yeah, pretty cool. We found this out, that the game engine will do this with gym unknowns. They will just label them as unknown before you make the pitch, and then the invisible pitcher will fire it away. And Brad Wilkerson, I feel bad for you, buddy, because you're in center field all by yourself. So that's what we did on stream a little bit earlier today. First time I've seen that. But as I said, usually that's something that you don't watch the replay for when you're playing a team of gym unknowns. I don't know if it's always been like that or just today. So Ezra Denny is my team of the tournament in the inaugural laptop tournament for giving it all and almost. He lost this game 21-0, and then he would win the next game 2-1, and then would lose game 7 2-1 with 18 players on his team. So again, congratulations to those that won some packs. It is going to fire off, of course, tomorrow. I've already entered it. I've already drafted my team right up there. 61 teams. There are still 3 slots available. So if you want to possibly be shouted out tomorrow on stream, because we're going to look at this every time I stream, we're going to go in and see how teams are doing. So there are still 3 openings for Laptop Hound's daily lower level leisure lounge. Only bronze and iron cards. That's it. Go get your Dink Motho. Go get your Johnny Dickshot. Go get your Lucas Giolito. Go get your Kel Eldred. All the Ellies are in it. No DH though, so we are playing without the DH. 2 slots now available apparently. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm again just so humbled that Out of the Park Developments would do that. And again, it's great for the community. It's great for the streaming. And I think when I started streaming, 50 of the 64 were full. And then I think the community watching the stream filled up 8 of the last, 16 spots. So hopefully we'll get more. And it's almost full already. It's got 14 hours left or something, and it's almost full. So great job, guys, filling this up. And again, we get a chance to see some of these bronze and iron in action. The historical Joey Gallo and Fred McGriff, 9 home runs apiece. And limited edition. Look at these limited editions. Archie Vaughn had the most hits. Joel Youngblood had the highest average. You guys remember when this card came out? Highest WAR went to Bellhorn, who a lot of you use in your bronze tournaments. Stolen bases. Marino. Makes sense. 123 speed. And there were caught stealing. Bunch of people caught stealing as well. So yeah, cool to look back on this first tournament. Pitching wise, Sonny Gray seemed to be the popular pitcher. There were 2 teams with Sonny Gray that had 4 wins, and then we had Corey Kluber with 4, John Matlick with 4, Kirby with 4. Pitcher WAR, Giolito was the best at 2.2 with Fanatic. And saves went to this guy. This guy with 7 saves. Yeah, I guess live players sometimes can make a difference. So taking a look at the winning team, so you see what a winning team looks like in this type of tournament. Marty Barrett, Belliard, Jasso, Maldonado. Look at this limited edition. Who else do we got? Gagne, Matlick, Bob Welsh, Baseball Reference 4 card. Yeah, congratulations. And I hope that high diamond for this team is someone really good. It could be. Good evening, EVC. Cozy up to the piano and ask Sam to play a tune. We will be having hors d'oeuvres at the top of the hour. All right, so there it is. There is your look at the first Leisure lower level laptop hound stream. Let's see if we filled it up yet. Oh, yes, we have. Look at that, 14 hours to go, and we are full. So good luck. I'll talk about it tomorrow on stream because it will have fired off by then. And let's shout out a few of the teams I recognize from the community here in the perfect draft. Who do we got? One of us has to win it soon, like really soon. This one here. Monte Cubs. We've got baseball team. Charles is in there. We've got EVC, and of course, Don't Cut the D Block Dragon is back. I might be missing a few teams scrolling through it pretty quick. Mile High Mayhem is there. The Dodgers are there. Who else? We've got Team Oklahoma. The Devils are there with Fussmucker, Washington Park Rangers. Andy's Pub Goers are in there. The San Diego Show. The Newts. And one of Ezra's favorite teams, the Donors, the Oregon Donors. Is Ezra in this one? No, I don't think Ezra got in this one. So yeah, good luck. We'll see how that goes tomorrow. The Candlepin Bowlers are there. Yeah, lots of fun to be had. All right, welcome in, guys. Again, the hockey show is going to be starting in about 3 or 4 minutes time. So hang tight. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back. We'll get the contest going, and we'll talk hockey, even American hockey. All right, back in.
blows and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps and the players bump and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. The best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Second period. Where players dash with skates aflash, the home team trails behind. But they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees, they travel like a burning flame. We see them slide the puck inside, it's a 1-1 hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. The best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Third period, last game of the playoffs too. Oh, take me where the hockey players face up down the ring. And the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the champs who win the drink. Now the final flick of a hockey stick and the one gigantic scream. The puck is in, the home team wins the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. The best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
All right, originally by Stompin' Tom Connors. He is the one best known for singing the good old hockey game. We always start our show off of that. So big shout out to Strummer on YouTube for that video there. A little too many Montreal Canadian jerseys for my liking, especially in the video. They show Montreal scoring on Edmonton. Yeah, you know, but that's kind of the best version I could come up with. Welcome in, guys. Again, many of you here, hopefully to talk a little bit hockey, get involved in the chat, make some predictions. And I'll stay up under the OOTP banner because I did talk about it earlier until the next break. And then I'm going to switch over to Franchise Hockey Manager because, of course, Out of the Park Developments does run both Out of the Park baseball and Franchise Hockey Manager. Of course, this one just came out at the beginning of the month. Right here, Franchise Hockey Manager. You can even bundle it with OOTP 24 and get both versions of the game. Go to Out of the Park Developments if you're interested in purchasing the game. There is the website that you can go to that has all the information. They've got the OOTP forums. They've got a Discord channel. They've got some podcasts talking baseball. And of course, you can play OOTP Go on your favorite device. We will be giving away a copy of FHM. Let's try that again, Lap. FHM Hockey 10. We'll give away a copy on Sunday, actually, yesterday. A couple community members you might be familiar with, Pop Stongoria and Boiled Egg and I, we did a review of the game. We opened up the game. Boiled Egg, who's played it quite a bit, had given a tutorial, helped Pop Stongoria, who's kind of new to the game. So yeah, we chatted for close to 2.5 hours, and we talked hockey. We talked Washington Capitals, San Jose Sharks. It was a great conversation, and we played some FHM. So we are going to give away a copy. I'm going to start the giveaway right now. Couple things to keep in mind before I put it live. You do need to be here at the end if you win. If you are not present at the end of the show, which will be about 10:30, 10:40 Eastern Standard Time, I will draw another winner. And this is only for a Steam version. So please don't enter if you don't plan on using it. If you don't use Steam, allow someone that does use Steam a chance to win it. Last week, we gave away the Fast Spring copy. This week, we're going to give away a Steam copy. So we'll leave this running throughout the show. Exclamation ticket, exclamation enter if you want a chance for a Steam version of FHM 10. Give it a shot. Go try it out. Support Out of the Park Developments and their small team. All right, let's bring in the panel. We've got fresh from his vacation in Mexico. Finn, we've got, of course, from the East Coast, Frank the Tank, and from my local area, the Edmonton area, Old Man Fred is back. Good to see you guys here. We have a big show to go through tonight. So without, little introductions, we'll skip those introductions. I'm going to assume you guys are all doing good. Finn, though, you did go to Mexico. I have to ask you, what was the biggest stressor? The kid, the wife, or the in-laws? No one's watching. Don't worry. Don't worry. No one will see this. Or none. All of the above were fantastic.
The in-laws do a good job of stressing themselves. Oh my goodness, they're a nightmare to travel with, but definitely all around the kid, trying to keep track of him in the airport and at the resort. It was it was fun. It was more of a workout than it was a vacation.
Yeah, those vacations, especially when you have a young child and a lot of you going together, it's not always a vacation like you might see it in the movies.
No, I took the day off. It was nice. I got more relaxation from the hour massage I had today than the whole vacation.
Hey! This is a PG rated channel, okay? leave that until later. We don't want to hear about that. Okay, we've got our logo. Every week we go through and we look at the logos over the NHL history. Last week we skipped Edmonton because Finn wasn't here, so we went right to Florida. We're going back to the Edmonton Oilers. So let's take a look at their evolution of their logo. And you got to watch carefully, guys, because there are so many changes to Edmonton. I want to make sure you don't miss out. Here we go.
Oh,
that was stupid. No more orange. Bigger orange.
well, you're missing one.
It is tough. It is tough to come up with the right one. Well, these are the official generations of the logo that they've had. So third jerseys and things like that don't count as a logo because it's not their official logo. So you're probably thinking of the gear.
Yeah, the gear with the oil drop. What's his name? Nick Farland or whatever, the one that he designed.
Yeah, that I guess they don't consider a primary logo. So guys, it's a tough choice. Do you want to go with the early Oiler baby blue, the darker blue, the one with the red circle, or the current day one? Ryan, as Finn, as the Oiler fan,
Do we have to backtrack for this? Come on, man. We could have just skipped it, man.
I'll go with 96 to 211. That's when I started watching hockey, and that's the most different one. So I'll go with that one.
Okay. And we're not going to ask everyone else because they're pretty much the same, but there is that one little difference there with the 96. And that's
I'll pick whatever has orange because that's a traditional color. And that's the one where there's no orange. So any of the others, it's just shades of blue. We've seen this for all the teams. They go from light blue to dark to back. They went darker, back, but not completely back. And then, darker blue. Then the second, the third one. And it's like, whatever.
Yeah. Old Man Fred.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with the 72-73 because we have to remember how exciting it was for my town to join a league, right? And they certainly, the Eastern League wouldn't consider us. We were the hinterland. We didn't belong. We weren't good enough to be in the NHL. A little bit of a Western Canadian thing coming here. So it was a big deal. We had a Coliseum. It was huge to join the WHA. So my favorite one is 72-73 because I think without that WHA and Bill Hunter, there would be nothing to talk about now. So somebody took a risk, and God bless them because we we joined a joke of a league. I agree, but at the same time, at least it established something for small town Edmonton. And remember, Edmonton was maybe just over 500,000 at that point, right? So it was something. I mean, Calgary wasn't there; we were there, and thank God. So 72, 73, Edmonton. I mean, I had WHA things on my wall as a kid. Yeah, it was something. So
Can I just say that you're representing the old part of your old man Fred moniker? Because you just said, as we all remember. Excuse me? 72? Hey, Ryan, how do you? Hey, you remember 72, right?
Only in the history books.
the Calgary Cowboys were there, whoever boiled egg, but 1974, that's fine. They weren't there for the original. So yeah, they came and they had that comic stupid logo with the cowboy hat. It was stupid. So yeah, were the Calgary Cowboys there? They were, but who cares?
How come that stupid cowboy hat wasn't there when we did Calgary?
Well, because that was the WHA. Calgary
that wasn't the Flames. That was Atlanta's organization.
Yeah.
So yeah, copper and blue. Leo says, copper and blue. Finn grew up at that time. The phrase around Edmonton was always copper and blue. So I guess I can see some people going for the 1996 one, but whatever. They're all fairly close. Now, old man Fred
they still make references to the copper and blue.
Yeah. There's still a little bit of copper. Yep. Orange has been very prevalent recently. Yeah. So old man Fred, there's been a lot of patches, a lot of logos as well. Here we see a few more, things that the Oilers have used. We see a little bit more creativity now, of course, with the orange and blue from a more recent version. Anything here, old man Fred, that stands out that,
sure.
brings back memories?
I like the oil worker. That's probably from that oil and blue or for the copper and blue thing. So yeah, I really like the oil worker guy.
Yeah, they have a statue of that at West Edmonton Mall too.
Yeah, I like that one for sure.
Okay, Finn, how about you?
Like the Ottawa Senators logo.
No, I like the same one, the oil worker there. Basically, there's a. I think there's a guy like that in West Edmonton Mall, a statue of that, and just kind of gives the hard worker and people up in Northern Alberta a team to cheer for.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the orange and blue, like these two logos here. I don't mind them. I wouldn't want them permanent, but for a one-off, for a third jersey, I think they're okay. All right, NHL, we got some games going on tonight. How about the John Tortorella Philadelphia Flyers beating the Penguins 2-1? Lightning shut out the Stars. A little bit of a surprise there. And your
they had a four-game losing streak. So they had the biggest losing streak current in the NHL with I don't know, they were alone. And then the winning streak was Oilers and
the Coyotes of all people.
Yeah, Coyotes with 4. So and the Habs were winning 3-0.
Ooh.
And how many games do you think, without looking, did the Habs win or lose by more than a goal? Out of
this
24.
Year? 8.
Yeah, out of 24.
8.
4.
1.
Oh.
It was last week when they won 4-2 against Columbus, and they scored an empty netter to make it a 2-goal game. And they were up 3-0, and everybody says, well, they're going to get scored on at least twice because it has to be a 1-goal game.
Boiled egg, what's going on here?
Oh, cow, that was something, yeah.
I'm more curious to see what's going on in Arizona.
10 shots and 5 goals.
First period. Woo.
I mean,
boiled egg.
Jack Campbell there or what?
Yeah. I wish.
Well, it may be soon if things keep up here. And we'll talk goalies later, but right now it looks like where do we see the stats here? Box score.
Yeah, go down.
Ingram for.
You got to click Washington Capitals on the right here. Besides Coyotes, yeah. So go down.
Kemper, I know because my fantasy's taking a shit kicking.
Oh,
They both suck.
wow, Kemper.
Wow.
Holy.
Wow. Kemper, 2 saves on 5 shots, and Lindgren, 3 saves on 5 shots. So, boiled egg, have a beverage on us tonight because 5-0 after 1. That's pretty bad. I
5
mean,
games in a row. They're gonna. I picked them to make the playoffs. Remember, so they're gonna prove me right, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're smoking along. All right. Looking at the standings right now, not much has changed. The Rangers, though, again, they keep on impressing. 4 losses, tied with the Bruins. Vegas is still up there. Vancouver, again, still one of the top 10 teams in the league with Colorado, LA. Look we got the old Smythe division, the old Pacific division right there, 3 teams. Finn, anything, haven't heard from you in a bit. Anything surprise you in terms of the standings now that we're 23, 25 games in?
Well, at the beginning of the year, we talked about Buffalo, Ottawa, and Detroit as to which one of those guys are going to be edging their way into the playoff picture in the East. And I think most of the panel here had Detroit as the ones looking on the outside in, and by a pretty big margin. So to see them up there and consistently, and then adding a winner, Kane, he might not bring as much to the table as what he used to, but he's still a powerful voice in the locker room and knows what it takes to win. That's definitely a big surprise right there.
Yeah. When I heard the news, like I wanted to talk about this last Monday, and Detroit was always in the mix. And when he picked them, I was a little bit surprised because they're not like a huge Stanley Cup favorite. But after a couple of days, more details came out, and he's got a side deal with Detroit that at the trade deadline, if Detroit is not in the playoff race, he will get moved. And he has a no movement clause, so he can decide where he's going to get moved at that point. So I think that playing with the Brinkat again was a big selling point, and also having that side deal with Yzerman. Yzerman being a next player, that's where his perspective is not managerial 100%. Where I'm your boss, I'm going to dictate what happens to you. So he went, all right, cool. So your presence should make us in the playoffs, but if something happened, injuries, anything, I'll make that deal with you, and you get to choose because there's a new. It's weird because there's a no movement clause attached to his contract. So basically, he can pick where he wants to go.
Yeah, and of course, beginning of the month, we always like to talk about the rookie of the month, and this for the month of November, it was surprise. Connor Bedard. So last month was a goalie. Now we have Connor Bedard, 12 points in 12 games played. Frank, you kind of follow the rookies a lot. Anyone, surprising you more than you thought or fallen off the rookie race here?
No, it's as expected. He's creating some separation between all the other rookies. So Luke is gonna stay up there because Hamilton is out very long term. So he's on the number 1 power play now, on that potent power play. But New Jersey, man, they better wake up because they're technically today they're out of a playoff, and that nobody predicted from the panel at the beginning of the year. So they got to get their act together and fast. And look, like Mintyov, he's down to 13 in 24. I think he had 11 in 16 or 15. So it's normal. All these college, like Fantilli, Cooley, even Leo playing in Europe, they haven't played 70 games in a year. So their second half, they're going to struggle. That's why they're sitting Leo Carlson. They only want to play him 2 games per week. So he is strong during the second half, so they won't have to sit him. But a lot of these players are going to get fatigued, and Luke Hughes, that's going to be his biggest challenge in the second half because he's never played 40 games. What?
How about that family? They eat their Wheaties when they grow up. Holy moly!
So that's going to be his biggest challenge. It's going to be keeping that stamina for 82 games.
Yeah. So again, hasn't played a lot of big time hockey like he's playing now. Old man Fred, when we look at the rookies, of course, Connor Bedard's leading right now. Do you put any weight at all for a rookie in plus minus? Because he's the worst plus minus in the top, 40 rookies here at minus 14. What do you think, old man Fred? Do we just ignore that as a rookie?
Yeah, what an interesting question. You know what? I think as a rookie, yeah, I think the defensive game comes when you've got high points like this. Plus, look what team he's on. He's on Chicago, for God's sake. They're near the bottom. Yeah, I'm not going to pay any attention to that. They're usually, for a rookie, especially high rookies, they're going to be on a lower team because that's who drafts them. And there's going to be a lot of goals scored. So it doesn't mean much to me. Yeah.
And he's always on the ice. Look at the time on ice, him versus the other one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Always on the ice. So
yeah.
All right. And when we look at the standings for the other players in the league, as we do at the beginning of every month, Kucherov, who again, one of the best players in the league, kind of has gone unnoticed a little bit in the last couple of seasons since the injury. But man, he's back with a vengeance. 40 points for Tampa Bay. Pasternak, we see the Vancouver boys still there. Finn, anything with the maybe the leading 15 scorers that surprises you one way or the other?
Not really. I mean, a lot of those people that you see up there are generally up there. Maybe TJ Miller, but Artemi Panarin.
Yeah. Look at how many goals he has.
Yeah.
He's not a goal scorer. He's on track for 50 goals. I don't know what kind of crack he smoked, and he cut his hair off. Apparently, that's all he needed to do to shave his head was to become a goal scorer. He's got 15 goals.
Well, I think the problem is, Frank, as Oiler fans, remember he took that away from Connor. He ripped us off, right?
He came in as a 26-year-old rookie or
whatever. Yeah, it was BS. It should have been Connor or one, man.
It doesn't matter. He still has 15 goals.
I don't want to look at him. I don't care about him.
Yeah, but look at Brock Besser. He got 14 or 17 goals. He's at a higher pace.
So there you
go. I know, but Brock Besser's a scorer. He's known for scoring. Look on Panarin just to see in his career. For sure. Look on Panarin, Glenn. All right, let's go see a career awesome goal scorer here. 30, 31, 27, 28, 32, 17, 22, 29, 50. No, that's today. So he's going to score over 40, man. It's crazy. And he's shooting the puck. He never used to shoot the puck. So that's the biggest surprise.
And that's with elite players, they're going to change their game all the time. Like, look at McDavid last year. He decided to start shooting the puck, and he wound up with 60 goals.
Yeah, but he's over 30, man. Usually you don't change your game at 31, I think, or something. So it's shocking.
He's still a young guy in the league.
But it's just surprising that somebody at that age does a 180, It's like it's shocking. Besser was always a goal scorer. He's just, and we've talked about it in the last few weeks, where he's shocking because it's all coming together now. Great, but like Panarin, man, it's like, come on, what's up with that?
And he's on track for what? Like this guy here, like what a fantasy stud he is. Frank Vatrano, 14 goals for Anaheim, 9 assists, 23 points. What a season he's having in Anaheim.
Well, somebody has to score in that.
I would not have put my bet, though, on Frank Vatrano. That's for sure.
It's not a name I'm familiar with at all, right? Like, it's not a name.
Well, he's a journeyman that scores once in a while 20 goals, but he was always like the middle six, but, never used 14 minutes on every team in Florida. Everywhere he went, it was like an afterthought, like Daniel Sprong is, But now he's playing top six and they said, okay, let's put him on the top 6. He shoots, and he's having his career year. It's probably not gonna. It's not sustainable. But hey, keep it going. But his shooting percentage, if you click on his name, is sky high. It's not maintainable.
Yeah.
So
Sidney Crosby plus 13, like looking at the plus minus leaders. Barkov is up there. Roenick again for Vancouver. So yeah, there's some nice names. Quentin Byfield, another nice story. Thought maybe he might be a bust. Took him a while to get going, but now he is doing really well in the top line for LA. So yeah, we'll take a look at standings and things like that. We'll go into game of the week a little bit later. We do have our first break coming up. When we get back, we are going with the Frank the Tank topic of the week. We're going goaltenders and moving goaltenders, and if teams that should be in contention can go out and actually acquire a goaltender with the cap space they have. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And again, don't forget to enter the contest, !ticket, !enter for FHM10 on Steam. Back in 2 minutes time. All right, we're back. Welcome in. Again, I hope you're having a great Monday night. And Frank is glued to his screen there. The Montreal Canadiens are up by 1 with a couple minutes left to play. So if you hear some swearing in French in the next couple minutes, you'll know it's a tie game. Boiled Egg says the Jets are in a nostalgic jersey. Which jersey are they wearing? Are they any of the ones on screen here, Boiled Egg? Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what jersey they're wearing tonight, but if they're wearing the Winnipeg Jets one, number 4 here, that's the team that, of course, went to Arizona. So they inherited the team that came from the Thrashers, Atlanta. Number 5, that one there, yeah, that looks like the powder blue from the Blue Jays, the Expos, the Kansas City Royals, St. Louis Cardinals. Love that powder blue.
The PJs, baby.
Pajamas. Hey, I remember a Montreal Canadian uniform that looked like they were prison outfits because of all the stripes they had on their uniform. So don't be knocking don't be knocking the Jets there.
I'm not knocking the Jets. The Expos played in PJs for years, man.
Oh, best uniform in baseball, Frank, don't you think?
They still look like PJs, man. Powder blue does not belong on a sports team as a dominant color.
Kraken have a empty net 6-on-5. Well, maybe we'll just watch a few seconds of this because I want to see the live reaction of Frank here. You know, just in case the
another one-goal game. Another one-goal game.
Score. Look at that smile on Frank the Tank's face as they're defeating the Kraken. How much time left, Frank? Are they in a face-off right now?
Well, I'm behind on my TV, so.
All right, 39 seconds left in the Canadiens.
And by the way, 31 shots from Seattle, 2 goals. We're talking about
34 shots now, so they must be pressuring Montreal.
Yeah, two goals from Montembeault. So he would have been a great acquisition for some of our teams, but they signed him to a 3-year extension. So,
all right. Well, let's move on. I'm assuming Montreal is going to win. All right, chat. Frank the Tank gave us some homework this week, and I'm like, Frank, what are you doing giving us homework? Like, come on, let's just talk hockey.
How am I supposed to do homework in Mexico?
Exactly. We're busy guys.
You came back early enough.
Frank's like,
I did my homework yesterday. Yeah. I did my homework last night like I usually did in high school. Last minute.
I did mine an hour ago, Frank, so I got you beat there. Okay. So last week we talked about the caps for goalies, the goaltender cap for this year and next year. We looked at some of the goaltenders and what their contracts are. And we kind of we teased that there are some teams out there that need to improve their goaltending. Their goaltending simply sucks. And what is out there that they can get to fit under the cap? So Frank asked all of us to analyze some of the teams. Edmonton needs a good goalie. Skinner's unreliable. We've got Toronto. They need a goaltender. We have Buffalo. We have New Jersey. And who was the last one, Frank?
Carolina with the injury and LA Kings.
Carolina and LA. So let's start with old man Fred. And you came up with a solution for your team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. What can Toronto do to improve their goaltending? You get to go first.
You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Not anymore. I'm not. Thank you.
That's Frank. A nice T-shirt you have there. That's like retro.
Grateful Dead. Grateful Dead.
It's a San Francisco Giants shirt, right? So when I was in San Fran, so it was very good.
Nice.
So yeah, and of course tie dye is at San Francisco or what? Okay, so a couple of things. First off, hats off to Frank on this because not only did he send us, we didn't really have to do a lot of research. We had to look a little bit and figure it out. But so thank you to Frank on this because, man, I wouldn't have known where to look. So that helped a lot. But I'm not very exciting because I'm not when I looked at things and I'm playing general manager for a team who hasn't won the cup in pretty much my life. I was one the last time they won. So it's been a while. That being said, I think I really believe as a fanboy, and I will say that Samsonov is a problem, but Bowl is not. And I have faith in him. So that being said, yeah, I'm looking to trade Samsonov. He's on a 1 year. He's a UFA next year. His contract's at 3.3 or something along those lines. So I would trade him to Detroit because Detroit, I'm sure, wants him. And I'd bring back James Reimer. Why? Because when I look at Reimer and I look at his overall, I know we have Martin Jones, but Martin Jones has not had over a 900 save percentage since 2015. So Martin Jones is an old kid. He's not even as old as Reimer. As a matter of fact, he's 33. But he's not a solution. Reimer comes in. I think he could take 30 games at this stage. I think he could win. Bull could learn. And we concentrate on where we need to concentrate on. And for the Leafs, they need defensemen. And as Frank pointed out, they already lost one of them, right? I mean, to Vancouver. That was they were looking. They needed to retain some salary or something along those lines. They wanted Calgary to do that. Calgary said, "Yeah, screw you. We'll take Vancouver's offer," and that's kind of where it is. So when I look at this, I would go with Reimer, bringing him back as a senior guy. He also is a UFA as of next year. He's just on a 1 year. He did have some lower numbers, but that's when he was playing for San Jose. And
by the way, if you look at his career, Glenn, if you can put it up, you say he had lower numbers, but out of 14 years, he's been over 900 save percentage, 13 out of those 14 years, playing on a bunch of average teams. And the only year he didn't was last year in San Jose, where he was at 0.89. So every other year is over 900.
Yeah, and you can see it's like, well, I guess that's the last 6 years. Is that? I don't know. I don't know what this one is. 914 save percentage, but maybe that was just
914 is his career. I don't know why it says 6 years, but I don't know what's
I think that was with
career.
Toronto. When he was with Toronto, he was 914.
Okay,
so
911 for his career. So
yeah, so 911 for the career. So I mean, yeah. So I think I really believe in that. Bull is the guy of the future, but I think Reimer would help. Yeah, so that was the one that was the most attractive to me. So there you go.
All right, and the chat is boiled egg likes the idea. Leo is like, well, maybe not 1 for 1, and I don't think you perfected the trade as.
We're not here to trade. We're just here to give who our targets are. We're not going to go through all the this would go.
No, I don't think that trade would be accepted anyway. Samsonov.
Yes.
No, the main thing is Reimer in, Samsonov out, because Detroit would not take Samsonov.
Yeah,
they can't go from 3 goalies to 3 goalies, but it doesn't matter. The point is bring in Reimer, get rid of Samsonov instead of putting Wall to the HL. That was the point of the exercise today, not to build a trade.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, Frank, I'm up next, and Frank, don't yell at me as a teacher. Please don't criticize me.
Yeah.
But I went all out with a complete trade. And keep 2 things in mind, Frank. One is
hold on before you start. When you gave instructions to your student, you didn't mind that if they didn't listen to you and went off to the reservation and did their own thing, right? You applauded that as a teacher, right?
No, he did not. I can tell you as a colleague, this is not the guy who did that. No way.
All right. Having said that, go ahead.
Old man Fred would know that our district was pushing, let the kids think outside the box. So I'm just following that along. Oh, 2 points, Frank. One, it doesn't have to be made today, the trade. It could be made a few weeks, months down the season. And
yeah. Same thing with Carolina. Mine's going to be like hyphenated. They have to wait, So go ahead.
Okay. And the second one is, this is before tonight's game. I made this up. Just keep that in mind. It's before tonight's game. Thirdly, no, we'll go on with it.
What does have today's game have to do with it?
You
went after Quimper?
All right. Well, I'm covering.
He went after Quimper. I can feel it.
I'm covering the New Jersey Devils, And New Jersey is desperately in need of a goaltender. The goaltenders they have are not cutting it. They need someone they can rely
Can I
on.
interrupt 2 seconds? Because something happened over the weekend just to prove that point. Akira Schmidt played on Friday, 49 shots on goals. The next day, they put him in again because the coach doesn't trust Vanacek at all. So the guy gets peppered. He's tired. And they went back to him just to prove your point that there's a huge problem in Jersey. And Akira Schmidt is basically a rookie. And they went to him back to back. So there's huge problems. They're not in the playoffs. So sorry about that. I just wanted to give that.
Here is my wild trade and boiled egg. You can give your opinion. Frank will give his opinion. I am trading Mead, McLeod, and Siegenthaler to Washington for Kemper and Nick Dowd. Salaries match. Each get under the cap. Washington gets younger. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think Kemper is going to be on the market sooner rather than later. And Nick Dowd, they've already been shopping around. Teams have been asking about Nick Dowd. I think that grit plus the experienced goaltender in Kemper is what New Jersey needs. They're going to have to give up some youth. And depending on whether or not salary is retained, there might have to be a draft pick involved. But to me, it's McLeod, Schmid, and Siegenthaler for Kemper and Dowd.
Bravo. Bravo. I like that trade.
Oh,
I think Washington likes that trade. 23, 25, 23. It's, even though Washington is doing well this year, it's almost over. And, from Kuemper to Schmid, I don't think it's a huge step down in terms of performance. So I had somebody else for New Jersey, but I like that trade. I actually think Washington pulls the trigger on that trade too.
Yeah, as Boiled Egg mentions that Siegenthaler would probably not want to go back to Washington. I included him because of the cap and the contract value. So again, maybe they'd have to switch in for another player, similar value. But the point is Schmid going to Washington and Kemper coming to New Jersey. And I think other than tonight's game, I think New Jersey needs that kind of goaltending. All right.
Yep.
Next up,
Yep.
Frank, you go with one of your two teams, and then we'll go to Finn with the Edmonton Oilers.
I have 3 teams, by the way.
3 teams. Frank's a studious person.
Nobody took Buffalo, so okay, let's start with the Kings. All right. So LA Kings, the problem is they don't need a goaltender. They just need a goaltender in case, because if Cam Talbot goes down to injury, they're screwed. Copley is not doing the job. He sucks. Talbot is goaltending above his head, but he's so injury prone. I don't remember the last time he was healthy, so they have to counter that. So they have 188 of cap space. So my first target is in Columbus, because Columbus has to stop with this retooling BS. Signing Gaudreau was a huge mistake. They just got to come to the realization that they have to rebuild. They have great youngsters, Tarasov as a goalie. They have Jirasek on D. They have Matechuk on D. They got KJ. They got Fantilli. They got all these youth. So they have to say, okay, let's stop this BS. And, and all their vets. Line is underperforming. Gaudreau's underperforming. Boone Jenner's in the wrong chair, etc. They have to trade and get younger. So my target is Elvis Merzlikins. He's got a $5.4 million cap hit until 26-27. And Matt Roy would go out, and it's not to Columbus, but he's got a $3.15 million cap hit. And then my 23rd player on that team, because they actually have 23, goes to the minors. I had 1.88 of cap space. So Merzlikins would fit. My second target, because I had two when I could, backup plan, is going back to the rumors from last year before they acquired. So they have a history with Columbus because they did acquire Korpisalo from Columbus last year. So going after the second goalie. But the other one that was rumored to go to LA before they chose Korpisalo, and that's Karej Vejmelka from Arizona. Ingram tonight, 5 games in a row. Player of the week last week. So he took control of the net. Arizona wants to be buyers. So getting rid of 2.725 of cap would probably help them because they are a cash-strapped team. That cap hit is until 24-25, which is great because neither Talbot or Copley has a contract for next year. So LA would have a goalie through next year. And I would include Phoenix Copley in that scenario. So out with 1.5, in with 2.7, with 1.88 of space. So I'm all good. So my first scenario, I have 3 goalies that I can rely on. And I send Copley down. If he gets picked, great, but he won't. And then this scenario, I'm at 2. But I have 2 because Vejmelka has been doing well on a crappy team. So that's why I would do that switch. So that's my 2 targets for the LA Kings.
All right. Yeah. And then, LA and Arizona, they've made deals before, so I could definitely see that happening. Finn, you have the toughest task. The Edmonton Oilers have about $150,000 in cap space and Jack Campbell playing in the AHL. What have you magically come up with?
So
Harry Potter. We'll call you Harry Potter for this segment.
I hate spending money on goalies. Even if I'm playing NHL 23, I hate spending money on goalies. If I'm playing OT or the hockey simulator, I hate never spend money on goalies is my motto. So I am looking for a taker of Jack Campbell. And I'm looking for a team that doesn't plan on being a contender in the next 3 years because he's going to seriously hinder whatever team he goes to. So the one and only team that is selling off and won't be a contender for the next 3 years, in my opinion, would be the Sharks, or 4 years, I guess I should say. So we're looking to trade Jack Campbell to the Sharks for Mackenzie Blackwood. Now, that's not where it stops. That's just where it starts. So we bring in Mackenzie Blackwood at over half the cap savings. We'll probably have to add some picks, blah, blah, blah. That's not my job. I'm just want to move players. So we bring in that cap savings of $275 or $2,750,000-ish dollars from Jack Campbell to Mackenzie Blackwood. We pair that up with a Cody Ceci or a Kulak, send them out the door to bring in a proper top pairing defenseman to play with Nurse. And the guy that kind of caught my eye out of Ottawa, which, again, I'm just picking a player that fits in the cap, that with a team that's missing the playoffs, it looks like, and that's Artem Zub. So that helps solidify the defense and brings in somebody that can stop a lot of pucks because that's all Blackwood is doing in San Jose, stopping pucks. Not all the pucks, obviously. They're at the bottom of the standings, but he sees a lot of shots tonight.
So Zub and Blackwood in, and a Campbell plus CC.
CC or Kulak.
There's a bunch of draft picks going out on the highway.
It's
okay. Oilers have to win now. So I like that. I was waiting for somebody to pick up Mackenzie from one of your 3 teams. It's for sure wouldn't be New Jersey, obviously. But I could have seen him either in Toronto or the Oilers. So
I hear they're in Columbus right now, looking at Elvis, but that guy costs more than Campbell. And my motto is, don't spend money on goalies. I
think they're actually looking at Spencer with Tarasov coming back. Just have the reliable, unreliable backup because Spencer is like a crappy version of Reimer. So I actually had Reimer as a target for Edmonton, but I also have Reimer almost everywhere. And Toronto, I couldn't pick somebody, so I'm glad Old Man Fred came up with his his solution. So I like that. And New Jersey, I'll just say I had Logan Thompson as a target, and having Vanacek go to Las Vegas. So with other shit, but yeah.
All right, Frank. Let's just go with one more team, and then we got our final break, and then we'll come back and do our game of the week and do our draw for because we're getting close to the bottom of the hour here. So, Frank, which team do you want to go with, Carolina or Buffalo?
Well, Carolina is a question mark on Anderson, so if he's out for the year, because it's blood clotting issues, that's pretty bad when you get hit by pucks and you get bruising. And Buffalo's pretty boring because they have plenty of cap. So let's go Carolina. You want Buffalo? Okay, let's go Buffalo.
Let's go
Okay.
Buffalo.
All right, so let's go Buffalo. So the problem in Buffalo is they have to decide, are they making a push for the playoffs or not? Levi is obviously not ready, so that's why he went back to the AHL. And they have Comrie, who's a young vet, never started, and they have UPL, and he's almost a rookie. So they have to get a veteran. So my first target, and I don't need to trade anybody out because Buffalo has like 10 million of cap space, so that's easy. My first target was James Reimer, free agent at the end of the year for that push. Have him try to right the ship. And my second one was longer term, was Jake Allen from Montreal. Montreal has 3 goalies. They can't continue. That will leave Montembeault as number 1 and Caden Primo as number 2. And Caden's 3 games in 25. He had 1 bad period. And Jake Allen, why he would fit in Buffalo is he's a great mentor. He proved it here. He proved it in St. Louis. He mentored Bennington because he was a starter in St. Louis back in the day. And he has a contract through next year, and he could mentor Levi into becoming that number 1 goaltender in Buffalo. So those were my 2 targets for Buffalo because they can't get somebody who's going to stay a starter long term because Levi is the holy grail, the next one. So that's why you can't. It's like, do I get the superstar because they have the cap room? A John Gibson to see if he can turn it around on a good team and all that. But the contracts were all too long. Every time I checked, it was too long. So that's why I went one who's UFA this year and another one to mentor Levi next year. So that were my Buffalo 2 targets. And Reimer was a target for Carolina also.
I think we did well, Frank, with our GM simulation here. So good job, guys.
Is it too bad for Buffalo to ask for Allmark back?
Yeah, I took a break. What?
Is it too late for Buffalo to ask for Allmark?
Allmark?
Back? Yeah.
Yeah, but Allmark is too young, and that's why Levi, he doesn't fit, because at one point Boston's going to have to pick, between Allmark and Swayman. They're probably going to pick Swayman because they're going to make too much. Like Swayman's next contract's going to be higher, but Buffalo's not into that crowd anymore. They need just somebody to babysit Levi and show him what it is to be a pro, because these people who thought Levi would win the Calder this year, blah, 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 they were smoking good weed because he's out of college. He's 20. He's undersized. The game is way faster than the NCAA and the NHL. So he's got to even Price put in a year in the AHL. It's very rare you got Tom Barrasos that play at 18. Yeah. Very rare. So he has to put in some time. Spencer Knight, they tried to do the same thing. They brought him right out of college, and they said, this is a mistake. He needs to go to the AHL, and his career is still not on track.
When I was looking at goalies here, I was looking, and I came across Carter Hart, and, of course, Edmonton guy, great goalie, but same situation. He's, 24 years old, and that floored me. He's been in the league forever.
Yes, he came in too quick. He found success at the beginning, and then he lost his way. And he was my first target for Carolina, by the way. because he's a free agent at the end of the year. And if Anderson is out for the year, Carter Hart would have been my target for Carolina, because they have $8 million of space at the trade deadline. So this was a trade for later, but Carter Hart was definitely, because Briere said it. If any offer for any player is on the table, we're rebuilding. We're still rebuilding. This temporary success, I don't care about. I'm looking long term, and if somebody offers the moon for Carter Hart, he's going to say yes. And Carolina has a lot of good youngsters. Buffalo has a lot of good youngsters. These teams can pay for what they need. Like Buffalo is ridiculous, the riches they have. Think Matt Savoy. He's in your region out west in the juniors. They have Kulich and Rosen in the AHL. They have Benson, who stuck around as an 18-year-old in the NHL. It's like Peterka and Quinn, who's injured. It's like they have so many potential top six. They can trade them away for these pieces they need.
Well, guys, we have our last break just about to kick in. So we'll be back to wrap up the show, do our predictions for the game of the week, look back on who predicted the right score, and draw our winner. So back in 2 minutes. All right, welcome back. We're here to wrap up the show. And last week, our game of the night was played yesterday. That's how recent this is. We went for the Los Angeles Kings hosting the Colorado Avalanche. And as we know, Colorado went into LA and lost 4-1. Well, how did our panel do? How did you guys do in the chat? Well, some did very well, and Finn was not one of them. He was a little bit off on that. Here's what we predicted. The Tank predicted 3-2 Colorado, and Finn predicted 6-2 Colorado, and I predicted 5-2 LA win, and Old Man Fred, let's put him on screen here. Look at that. With the 4-1 prediction. So we're giving Old Man Fred a bonus point. He gets a bonus point. He got the right team and he got the exact same score. And Old Man Fred, it wasn't you alone. Boiled Egg predicted 4-1 LA. So Boiled Egg gets a bonus point as well. So in our overall standings, Linky, Frank has 1, Finn has 3, Old Man Fred has jumped into the lead with 4. I have 2 points. D Block has 1, GT has 1, Fuss Mucker has, I think I made a mistake there. It should be Fussmucker 2 and Boiled Egg 3, because Boiled Egg gets the bonus for the exact score. So well done.
Indeed.
All right, so now we got to go on to games for this week. And Boiled Egg, since you were so well versed in the game of the week last week, how about you pick a game for us this week? So here's the schedule. What do you want all of us to predict on? You predicted it right, 4-1. Here's the matchups tomorrow. See if anything jumps out at you. Make this a little bit bigger. Wednesday. Carolina, Edmonton. We got Toronto, Ottawa, Washington, Dallas. Friday, Saturday, and then a lot of games on Sunday, which is unusual.
Yeah.
Usually NFL season, we don't see a lot of Sunday games. Yes, Fred, Old Man Fred is a smart man. Absolutely.
And so is Boiled Egg. How about that? So.
Oh, you guys just get a room, would you? Come on. Jeez. All right, Saturday. You want to go with the Saturday matchup? Who you liking on Saturday?
Ottawa, Detroit. Ooh, boy.
Ottawa, Detroit. Okay. So Boiled Egg is going Ottawa at Detroit. I think we're going to see a lot of similar scores here, but we'll start with Old Man Fred so we can't copy Boiled Egg's score this week. What do you think?
All right. Gonna go good old Detroit 3-1.
3-1 Detroit. Chat, you make your predictions as well. Lanky Frank, what are you calling?
You're on mute.
Oh, I know. I was trying to find the goddamn mouse and then bring it to the damn button. All right. Patty Kane should be back for this game, so this is going to be awesome because he's playing this week, by the way. Hopefully, we didn't get to talk a lot about it. Finn mentioned it real quick. All the players who had that procedures, none of them, Hagelin, Backstrom, none of them had any success. So hopefully he bucks the trend. So with Patty Kane in the lineup at home, Detroit, 5-2. Nobody picked that.
5-2 Detroit. Finn.
Who's there? Somebody said Ottawa 5-2. Okay. Hurry up! Your scores are you're going to copy everyone.
We're gonna go Ottawa 4-3.
Ottawa 4-3. Ooh.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go Ottawa. I'm going to go a 5-4 game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but Ottawa's going to win it 5-4. Or Detroit. Sorry, I'm going Detroit 5-4. Not Ottawa. Detroit.
There's a lot
All right.
of Ottawas.
If you get the exact right score, Leo's going 4-3 Detroit. Fussmucker 6-2 Detroit.
6-2.
Ottawa 5-3 for Commando. Don't cut the D-Bot Dragon 5-2. So we got a pretty good mix.
Hey, Fussmucker, are you going hat trick for Patty Kane with that 6 goals? Wouldn't that be awesome, eh?
How about a 5-goal game? Maybe he can win someone $1 million with a 5-goal game. Okay, so we have our predictions, and the last thing we have to do is make our draw for our contest here. So congratulations, 10-second countdown. This is for a Steam copy of FHM 10. So please only enter if you use Steam. You don't want it to go to waste. And the contest is over.
GT got in right under the wire.
GT in under the wire. That's my Expos GM. We play an online baseball league, Frank, and he's the GM of that team. I'm one of the players. I'm currently in Wichita, part of the Expos farm system. So, all right.
Wichita, isn't that like A league, A ball? Like,
double A.
Not even
Frank,
double
it's
A.
double A.
It's
I'm working my
A?
whip. I'm 21 years old, double A Wichita. Yes.
And he's the mascot, probably.
Is the AAA in Florida or is it in Ottawa? It depends. They had both at one point.
All right. Our winner is Port Dog. Port Dog, you got to be in the house still. Port Dog. Do we have a Port Dog sighting?
Oh, there.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. All right, Port Dog, send me a whisper on Twitch, and I will send you the game code sometime after the stream tonight and give you the code for Steam. You plug that into Steam, and you should have the game automatically. So excellent. Thanks for entering. Thanks all of you for a whisper. Is like a personal DM? Yeah. It's just a direct message that's sent right to me.
I don't Twitch that
Frank,
much, so I gotta ask him, man.
Old Man Fred and Boiled Egg have been doing it all night, apparently. So, yeah, there we go. 4-1 Kings, guys. 4-1 Kings. Good call.
Hey, by the way, Josh Anderson scored his first goal of the season in an empty netter. So this is the second game that the Habs have played that didn't finish with a 1-goal difference.
All right. Well, gang, stick around. Panel, stick around. Once we end the stream, want to talk to you guys for a little bit about what's coming up. The rest of you guys, we're back next Monday night, so enjoy the hockey. I'm going to raid over into my stepson. Give him a little bit of love. You know, say hi. Say Laptop Pound sent you. And Finn, it's Finn's brother as well. So go give him a little bit of a hard time. And he plays a modern Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, something like that. But I'm sure he'll get a few chuckles out of you guys. So hopefully you give a little bit of support. Laptop Pound, Frank the Tank, Old Man Fred, and Finn. See you next week.